Sadly for British fans, Matthew Davis, the man who's hoping to do well here in Holland, has failed to qualify. He qualified 30th in the general heats, but failed to make it into the final from the last chance at repêchage. Matthew Davis, a 17-year-old from Billericay, complaining about the tyre situation in Europe. He said it's as scandalous as ever. Only the top drivers, which excludes all us Brits, being given the all-important real race rubber. So Matthew Davis will not be starting, but we do have Bobby Game up there. He qualified 12th, and Bobby Game looking for a great race. Now here they come. Start is all under orders. The lights are waiting to go green, but there's a collision on the opening laps. Oh dear, and already in problem. Alessandro Manetti, as the starter brings the whole field under orders again. So Manetti tangling there with Bruno Bellucco, whose suspension is broken. Lights go to green, and from pole position, Nicola Gianniberti from David Terrien of France, Lotte Hellberg, Johnny Mijlovic, Jordi Schurales of Spain, and Jarno Trulli of Italy, all in that great big group there. Now watch Gianniberti. There he is, leading in the number 1 kart at the moment, to Gianniberti from David Terrien of France in the Sodi kart. Oh, and there's an accident there that involves 2 or 3 karts. We can't see the numbers at the moment. A rollover, but no damage done other than to pride and a bit of superficial karting damage, but they're out. So at the moment it's numbers 1 and 2. Leading the field, just as it should be, Nicola Gianniberti from David Terrien. David Terrien, the man who won the World Championships last year in this revolutionary Sodi kart, the French-built kart with unorthodox suspension, taking the lead. Oh, and he loses it again as Gianniberti goes the long way around there. Gianniberti quite determined. He's not going to give that place up. Well, it's Gianniberti. Then it's David Terrien. And tucked in right behind them at the moment is Johnny Mijlovic in the Tony kart. And coming up at a rate of knots, Jarno Trulli, man who was world Formula A champion, so desperately now wants to be Super A champion. That hairpin down the long slipstreaming state, and look at this, Gianniberti, as Terrien still defends his second place from Johnny Mijlovic. Daniel Perilla there joining on this bunch, as is Markus Paltala from Finland, and Risto Virtanen as well from Finland right there. Virtanen in the number 68 Tony kart. So Tony kart really very much at the moment to the fore. Nicola Gianniberti, David Terrien, Johnny Mijlovic, then the whole bunch hanging on to them. This is great racing as a 7 or 8 car kart gaggle now fighting for the lead here of the first of the Super A finals here at Berghem in Holland. Looking to go the long way down. Oh no, and Terrien pulls out again. As we saw just in the background there, Jarno Trulli pulling out from the whole pack to try and break that toe from people behind. Well, Terrien is trying to come through every time here. He just lost the European Championships last year in Formula A to Belgium's Guy Denis. Now he's in Super A, and he's right at the front of me. This is a young man to watch. Terrien, I think, will be in Formula 3 very quickly indeed, as he makes another move to come through. Oh, and he can't quite do it again. Again, Nicola Gianniberti just shuts the door on him. Gianniberti, both European and World Super A champion last year. That's why the number 1 plate, having none of it now until Terrien comes through, takes the lead from him. Nothing Gianniberti could do. It's Terrien, Gianniberti, Johnny Mijlovic, and right up now, Jarno Trulli is up into 4th while all that was going on. So teammates Mijlovic and Jarno Trulli, who came here in 1st and 3rd places in the championship points, And Gianni Berti does it again. Back through he goes. Following him all the time is Risto Virtanen. Not letting go from this great leading bunch here. Gianni Berti. Terian. Mijlovic. No, not Mijlovic, because Jarno Trulli's come through. They changed order again at that corner. Jarno Trulli into third place, the championship leader, now looking to try and win this title in this race if he can. When he came here, he had a big point lead over his teammate Mijlovic, so he's only really got to finish in the top 5 here to take the title. Can he do it? At the moment, he's protecting his kart, he's driving defensively. Will he go for the outright win here, or will he be content to stay in the top 3? Well, we're looking at the moment at Gianni Berti and Terian really fighting out this battle all around the Bergamo circuit, determined to the glory that goes this day, but will the tires last up to it? We are talking of temperatures of 28 degrees centigrade, and it's Trulli coming through on the inside, but he can't quite do it as David Terian shuts the door again. So it's Italy, France, then Italy with Jarno Trulli, and then Johnny Mijlovic from Sweden in 4th place, and behind him Risto Virtanen of Finland. So the Scandinavians really in top form this weekend. Looking further down the order, Bobby Game in 13th place at the moment in his Haas Racing factory entry. Bobby, the only British runner in the final at Bergamo after Matthew Davis had those problems, couldn't make it. And look at this, Trulli goes through again. Terian can do nothing about it. Did they touch? I'm not sure, but it looked very, very close indeed. So, Gianni Berti, the reigning champion, then Jarno Trulli, the man who wants to be champion, David Terian, also reigning champion, but in Formula A World Series last year at Laval. So look at this, all these champions out front. This really is superb karting here from Holland. Gianni Berti, Trulli, Terian, then Mijlovic, then Virtanen in the number 2 kart. Terian really getting his head down. Coming up behind them, Marcus Paltalo, another for the Finnish drivers. Risto Virtanen on the Tony kart there, the number 68. The Tony kart really on a massive all-out attack on this series. Gianni Berti and Mijlovic squabbling over 1 point at the moment for the runner-up position in the championship. They of course both want to be champions, but the situation is Trulli has 74 points, Mijlovic 59 and Gianni Berti 58. Everyone else now shut out of this. Well, Gianni Berti really just holding him off, but he can't do it for long because under braking at the end of that slipstreaming straight, through goes Jarno Trulli, the championship leader, to take the lead of the first race here at Bergamo, at New Zevenbergen circuit in the south of Holland. Well, Jarno Trulli had a very lean 2 years, having won the 1991 World Championship, I should say, in Formula A lean 2 years in Super A, but he really is on top form now because this is the top category of the CIK FIA Karting Championships, and Trulli at the moment, the class of 1994, head right down. Gianni Berti looking to see if he's going to leave a gap. He didn't, and David Terian hanging on there all the time in the Sodi kart. Then Johnny Mijlovic, then Risto Virtanen. This man, David Terian, and Risto Virtanen involved in a controversial accident at the end of the Jesolo round of the European Series in Formula A last year, with Virtanen finishing in the bells. It's all forgotten now, and apparently they're best of friends, racing against each other in Super A on the track, but talking off the track. Well, Jarno Trulli being helped no end by his teammate Johnny Mijlovic. Mijlovic, of course, in with a real chance of the title as well. Trulli looking to add 15 points to his 74. That would give him 89 points today. And that really would put the championship out of the reach of Nicola Gianniberti. Even if Gianniberti can finish in second place, which at the moment looks extremely likely, but David Terrien really putting on the pressure now. And behind Johnny Mijlovic holding off his other teammate, Risto Virtanen. So it's Tony Kart in the top 5 places. Up against the jolly kart of Gianniberti and the Sodi kart of David Terrien. But just look at the way that Trulli is trying to get every last ounce out of his kart. Terrien attacking now against Gianniberti. Can he pass Gianniberti? That would really finish Gianniberti's chances of any hope of the title. I think he's lost it already if Trulli has no problems. Terrien, they're smoking a lot. David Terrien with the Rotax power. Vega tires, not such a good season this year. He's managed only 1/5 and 1/6 place. Those are both at Val Vibrata in Italy. Had problems in the other races, but no problem at the moment for Trulli, because he is going further and further ahead. Has Gianniberti got problems, or is Trulli just more aerodynamic? Gets his head down and really goes for it. Gianniberti second, Terrien third, Johnny Mijlovic fourth, Risto Virtanen in 5th place, and in 6th place behind him at the moment still Marcus Baltala of Finland, with Natale Maggio of Italy and Daniel Prula of Italy coming up behind. And we saw it happen to Manetti, the man that great things were expected of. He in fact retired after that formation lap accident we saw. He and Bruno Balocco, neither of them continuing. Too much damage. And Britain's Bobby Game in a secure 13th place. Now, we haven't seen him, but I can assure you he is there, right behind Guy Denis and Jackie van der Ende. This is what everyone's watching, this battle up front. And look at Johnny Mijlovic now starting to come up. ...21 years old, from Sweden, really supporting his teammate. Raced last year for Swiss Hutlist, but made the move to Tony Kart this year, which has proved very, very profitable, because he is currently second in the championship. And look at that, looking over his shoulder. The first time he hasn't tucked his head down. First time I think he's felt confident enough to be able to do that. Jarno Trulli looks back. Well, there's a lap to go. The flag's telling us, but by my calculations, there's 2 laps to go still. Let's see what the true picture is. This could be the last lap. It may not be the last lap. As Jarno Trulli heads Nicola Gianniberti, Johnny Mijlovic trying to get through past David Terrien now. Terrien really fighting to hang on to his 3rd place, but Mijlovic on a charge. I saw the way he just came for his corners there. If there is 1 lap to go, I think Terrien has it, but if there's another lap after this, which we believe there is, then Mijlovic still has a chance to pass Terrien, jumping up and down in his kart there. Risto Virtanen and Marcus Baltala behind them. But we're soon going to know, this is the final corner. Is the flag out? No, it's not. There's another lap to go, as we thought. And Johnny Mijlovic now really on a charge, trying to get that 3rd place. 3rd place point, absolutely critical if he's going to be second in the championship. And here comes the pack. Trulli from Gianniberti as Mijlovic makes his move down the inside of Terrien, and he goes through. He goes through into 3rd place. He almost took 2nd place as well. Well, I don't know what happened there. Was there a miscount by the officials on the laps? But we thought there was another lap to go. Certainly the drivers were shown only 1 to go as they come through now on this last lap. David Terrien fighting back all the way around this Bergam circuit. It's just given Nicola Gianniberti, a bit of air between them, and I'm sure Trulli's going to win this race. If he does from Gianniberti, he will be champion. He crosses the line, he punches the air. Jarno Trulli is the European Formula Super A champion for 1994. Well, a great finish there. Gianniberti second and his teammate Johnny Mislovic in third place.